Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review Live. We live, y'all. Me and my homegirl, Erin, are going to let you know about the What's Going Down episode. Yes, one of our favorite shows on Bravo. Southern Charm, season 11, episode 10, and those were the sounds of Erin. Everybody, please help me welcome Erin to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, as always, for one of our favorite shows.
Yes, ma'am. Ooh, child, some folks got red today. And some folks about to be red tomorrow.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a filler episode, like a little, not necessarily a filler, more like a setup. Like, here we're gonna, kind of a filler, but that's all right. It can't all be too much. We still got some things.
Yeah, the ending was
some news.
Wow. Can't wait to get to that part.
Yep.
Let's dive in here. I don't need waiting. So first we see Shep and Whitner. They are working out, meeting up at the park. Apparently it's the next day after that disastrous birthday dinner for Austin, where Austin felt the need to want to read Craig for all the filth that he thinks Craig is. Yeah, but he was warned not to, but it was his birthday and he gonna read if he want to. Hello?
Ruin a meal.
Didn't he? All that good food. Expensive.
God, yes. It looked like, I would have held up a crab leg and said, not right now.
Not today, Satin.
No, let me eat.
That food did look good.
Ruin my cigar. Don't ruin this food.
Okay. Yeah. No, my greedy behind was kept eating. No, don't do that. Chew, chew, chew. Right. Wait. Swallow, swallow, swallow. How dare you? What?
I can't stand you. Chew, chew, chew. I hate you too. Here, I'll have more. Can you pass the bread?
More pepper, please. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because we can talk and argue. They must not know how to do it right. I'm just saying.
Don't take me to a dinner restaurant of that caliber. They were clearly eating fancy, and despite the way they were dressed, and then try to ruin my good time. I got a cushion booth way up past my head. You better shut up.
So they just so Whitner was just like, yeah, this some mess, but he warned him that none of this mess better go on in front of my parents, because we found out Whitner has invited the crew to have a slumber party night over at his itchy grass plantation farmhouse that he grew up in. And I can't wait for y'all to hear about the transactions that went on at this Heezy, okay? Yeah, so they go work out and they just run off into the sunset. That was pretty much it. Wasn't no big to do, just a cute little opener. They working out, child. Do you think Shep will keep up with the workout?
Well, I think Shep does work out pretty good. He's definitely he's thinner than he's been, that's I think that was one thing he kind of held on to. Not as fit as Whitner, obviously, who seemed kind of militant about his working out and stuff. But I think Shep kind of got it together in the fitness department a little bit better. That's the one thing maybe that stuck from Costa Rica, but I don't know.
Okay, well, we're going to see, y'all. We're going to see. So next we got Whitney at his mama house, y'all. That's Miss Patricia there. I'm just saying. And they're discussing the po dog Chauncey, who went on to glory, y'all. his film is coming up. So they just trying to get it together, trying to figure out who's gonna be there, who's gonna say something. And she wants Austin to be there and say a few words. I thought that was interesting. Why'd she choose Austin?
I know, that was interesting, wasn't it? But there was that picture of Austin, that clip of Austin carrying the dog.
Girl. Then when he said, yeah, he's always been fond of Chauncey, I started laughing. I was like, well, I want to laugh, but that sounds funny.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace, Chauncey.
Yes, it is definitely, especially when Miss Patricia's had a lot of loss.
Yeah. And did you notice we didn't see her new butler person?
Her new bartender butler?
I forgot his name already, girl.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't ask me.
So then Whitney fills her in on the chaos of the birthday. And she's like, oh, really? What a shame. Oh, no. Miss Patricia, no. She knows that they better not cut up at her house.
Well, I mean, Whitney did say, he said it was the most acrimonious confrontation they've ever had. I have a hard time believing that. I do, because especially when I think of all the drunken fights that they have had,
right?
Thomas Ravenel of it all, lest we speak of Predators past. But I think it was more maybe that because Whitney did seem genuinely taken aback by Austin saying he hated Craig, so maybe that was the, like, whoa, we've never come to this level. So.
Well, that's because you ain't been around as much. We've seen some mess now. I'm just saying. But yeah, I haven't really heard the word hate yet until tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I do, in some ways, I do think that Austin and Craig are in the worst shape of their relationship that they've ever been in. Because, like, as we've been discussing all season thus far, they are not acting like friends, they are acting like rivals. They are not supporting each other, they're throwing each other under the bus, in the social group, and they're not giving each other the benefit of the doubt. So, I guess maybe this is the worst shape their friendship has been in, because even in the past, I don't think there's been such, maybe there's more dismay at the chaos the other one is causing, but not like person to person animosity.
Yeah, I feel like they're the Dorit and Kyle of
Campus
of Beverly Hills last season, because it was a mess.
Good way to put it. No, two long-standing friends that are not feeling each other fundamentally right now.
Girl.
Well, good way to put it.
Because, child, this next scene was just too much for me. Austin, he's just sullying in his own misery. Now he over there snuggling with his cats and loving on nothing wrong with that, but he had the audacity to dial somebody's wife because he needs somebody to talk to. First and foremost, you need to be calling one of your homeboys. But he wanted to call a woman because he needs some sympathy that he know he'll get. And I know for a fact that's why he called his ex, who's married. You know how I feel about this. And she's like, hello? What's going on? He just over there sound like somebody that went on to glory and he's just sad. What's wrong? Girl, you know what's wrong with that boy. He tell her what's going on. Him and Craig had a falling out and it's bad. And he just pretty much misery love company. But Madison wasn't having that. She was like, what? She sounded a little more surprised that he's calling her with all this, in my opinion. But I just want him to call somebody else who ain't married and who didn't, well, I can't do the PH thing because, girl, that's just call somebody else besides this man's wife. That's what I want Austin to do.
Well, this is where I feel like we've got a little bit of production and reality TV, because I don't think under normal circumstances this is who Austin would be calling. But I think given that they're on a TV show, the nature of how their relationships kind of evolved, I agree with you in theory. I wouldn't be calling any of my friends, married. No, I would not. But I just take it with a salt of grain. You know what I mean?
Girl.
That we're all watching a show. But like, this is where I feel like this is almost like Drag Race, where there's a certain episode where I start to get bad at production on Southern Charm. I feel like Austin has been talking more about his unhappiness, about his relationship, off camera than on. Because I feel like this is like us like looking at some inevitability, and like nobody's super surprised, except I don't see. I mean, I know he's made a couple of mentions about not being happy, but like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So. But all right, he broke up with her. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Like, okay.
Girl, like what?
Yeah.
So next we see Charlie bringing Craig his painting that he wanted to have. They was talking about that from the previous time that they were filming, before the date, of course. Shucking oysters and carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
And he should have took the painting from her. I just, chivalry is not dead. I know that he's trying to let her do her, but dude, take the painting from her walking in your house. He just took it when she's in the house. Well, what's the share right in the house? What's the point in taking it now? Come on, dude. Dude, just be a little more. That's the only problem I have with this scene. And they're just flirting and carrying on, and she's, just being cute and everything. And then he gives her a little, he didn't want to let her know about the birthday dinner because he doesn't want to drag her into all that mess. He ain't trying to sully him getting to know her with all that going on. She'll hear about it, but I was good with that, because that's not what you want to do when you're trying to get to know somebody on a romantic level, is bring up all this bullish that you got going on. So I agree with that. But next time, Craig, do what you were gonna do in the first time. Let's
carry the painting.
Yeah, be a man.
No, I agree with you, but I also think this is reflective of, like, some accuse Craig of being a narcissist. He probably is, but I think that this is more reflective of Craig is like not obsessed with this stuff. He's like, he, like you said, like he's focusing on having this flirtation with Charlie. If he was harping on this crap with her, then I would be like looking at him like, for real. But I can almost see Austin doing that with somebody he's, like, I don't know. I feel like Austin's a little bit more in an unhealthier place with it than Craig. But then again, Austin is now in the breakup boat. So
yeah, child.
Y'all should be made up. There's really nothing to fight about anymore.
It's really not. They just, got their own perceptions.
They do. But, and now there's hatred. Now there's hatred and loathing and enemies. There's enemies and hatred on both sides, right? They both said some heavy-handed words.
Yeah, and Austin should be apologizing for saying all that stuff at the Pajama Jammy Jam, in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. In front of everybody, really, dude? Really?
Well, it was like, you are throwing your friend up under the bus. Like, that's not let's get along if you're going to air it out to somebody who's clearly got an agenda. You put the key in the wind-up toys back, and now that Salley girl is going. Because it's very obvious that, to me anyway, that she says she doesn't have any hard feelings, but she does. And I'll even go so far as to, Salley got her feelings hurt by Craig. So therefore, she's willing to believe the worst of Craig or perpetuate that he must be a bad guy because he hurt her. Whether or not that's true, she's got like a confirmation bias at this point.
That she brought up all in her head, like she did with somebody else's man. that she's just spreading all these things about. Just girl, you looking like you was looking a couple of years ago, mamas, and it ain't looking too good. I just want, oh Lord. But yeah, Charlie gonna find out. Craig gonna find out.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh, Salley and Molly about now. This was the twist of all twists. To see Salley and Molly getting body massages and done up from head to toe, literally from head to toe, getting their head washed, as my great grandmother used to say. Go on there and wash yourself, WARSH. Getting their hair washed and just doing a whole massage thing and just everything, the whole body from head to toe, which is what I love. I know how they feel. But they have this montage of them, working together. I think we already knew that they worked at some place in retail, but
no, they both worked at Leva's bar.
I thought it looked like they were in a retail spot. That's why I said that. Oh. I didn't hear the bar part. I guess that's where the merch is because it looked like
maybe, yeah,
stuff was stacked up. But yeah, they were just going over their history, and they seem to have a stronger history with each other than maybe I knew about, or maybe the show led on, but they just spoke of each other in a higher regard than they have thus far this season. This is episode 10. I mean, it was more or less that's my girl, but she tripping now. But before it was she just straight tripping. That's how I've been taking it. It just surprised me that they've linked up the way they have, and that they're loving on each other the way that they are. And now they're bashing Vanita. Now they want to talk about Vanita and her ways. I'm like, wait a minute, what
happened? Well, I mean, I think Molly kind of called it. She's like, Sally's alienated from the people she's been hanging out more with, so she's calling me. Like Molly kind of called pretty what much. The situation was. I think Molly likes to get along with people, and she's so she's. That's kind of one of the things about Molly I've noticed is she's kind of easygoing. So, yeah. She'll kind of always stay in the mix because for that reason, but she's also not disillusioned about why Sally's reaching out.
Yeah.
And listen, Vanita is on camera bringing up Molly's vajayjay in a very, very uncouth way. She's the one that insinuated it was paid for, so in theory, Vanita was talking ish, so I kind of can see why they have that sentiment. However, it's not lost on me again. Yeah, of course, Vanita's the villain now that you all are on the outs, so Sally's looking a little two-faced. Let's put it that way.
Child, this lady problematic, not just with the men, but with her friends too. Well, we saw that with Salley. But this girl is just problematic. If it doesn't suit her, it's a problem.
Oh, well, dude, the way that they were calling her a dog in heat at the after show, and I was like, and I actually saw the after show before I saw the episode, funny enough. And then I saw the episode, and by the end, I was like, that is an appropriate description of how she was behaving there at the end. My God.
Child. Well, next we're gonna cool off a little bit because it's a little too heated with what's going on. Salley, girl, Salley. So next we see Madison getting ready for the Itchy Grass overnighter, and she's talking to her man Brett, trying to figure out what she's gonna wear. Is she gonna wear a bikini? She's like, hell to the nah. And they show that she's 34 weeks. And if you've been listening to us and or paying attention to her recent pregnancy journey, that's the time frame that she had her baby early. So this is like, okay, I guess we're gonna see some action coming soon to a streaming service near you. So this is gonna be exciting. So wow. I can't wait to see what transpired.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see that. But she's looking so cute, of course. Like she said, no one's gonna yell at a pregnant woman.
Yeah. Very pregnant. You could just
Yeah,
tell she's hit that end of the road kind of thing.
girl, that third trimester will make you look just like your twin sister, won't it?
Yep.
Not in a bad way, just saying,
Yeah.
like,
No, you just look different. You just, yeah.
girl.
The baby is big in your body.
When she went last scene episode when she was at Rodrigo's and Tyler's um engagement party, them thighs was looking thighish, wasn't they, girl? I was like, oh yeah, that baby putting doing a doozy on her.
Yep.
Doing not in a bad way, because we all love to well, I know I do. It's just, a beautiful thing to see the progression, just like a newborn baby. Oh, look at the rolls on the baby. We love to see all that. Well, I know I do. So it's just, exciting to see the change and to know what's about to come. This is not shade. I'm not talking about her weight. We're just seeing how, how differently she's changing, and I adore it. So that's why I choose the words I choose. It's all love, y'all. So don't think I'm talking about the woman. Thank you. I don't want nobody saying nothing, getting back to her. Yeah, but that girl, no, but anyway, yeah. So they just had a cute little scene, because what we about to endure, child, we need some cutesy stuff, and I'm glad that she's around, because she kind of brings that with her. Because of course, no one's gonna yell at a pregnant woman. What else happened? Shep and Craig. Now we're on our way to the Itchy Grass Plantation Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And Shep so these are people riding with everybody out. Shep and Craig roll with Whitner. And that's when Whitner warns Craig, about, he already warned Shep, there ain't gonna be no mess going on. So he warned Craig, ain't gonna be no mess going on in front of my parents. If y'all want to duke it out, do whatever you got to do with Austin, make sure my parents ain't around. He's warning everybody. Everybody who got issues. Except for the women. He can't really tell them what to do. He knows his place. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. That car ride, girl, that was just I like Whitner. He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, but he's delusional if he thinks they're not going to fight in front of his parents. Like he's you could tell it's his first season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you realize you're hosting this for an argument, although it's like a fun little social thing for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad that's overnight. Just cute little getaway,
Mm-hmm.
enough daylight to see everybody, and then they go home the next day. Wonderful.
It's an amazing property. It was idyllic.
It is. And then we see Charlie and Molly riding with Salley. Charlie, Molly, and Salley. And they're just, screwing right along. And in the midst of their conversation, Salley found it prudent to want to warn Charlie about what Craig said. Apparently, according to Salley, she heard it from a reliable source. And this is just so stupid, in my opinion. It was so not serious. I'm glad Charlie didn't take it that way. But I wish she would have checked her in the car like she checked her in her confessional, just saying. But Salley had the audacity to tell, and Molly looked at her like, what? Salley had the audacity to tell Charlie that Craig feels as though Charlie's going to be madly in love with him, and it's going to, she's going to be the one to fall head over heels first, and this, that, and the third, along those lines. Now, so what? So what if, even if he did, say those things? So what? How was this so detrimental or so worthy of even warning somebody about? Help. If I'm missing something, friend, please help me out.
Well, this is the same thing as kind of what Austin did to Craig. they're taking something Craig said out of context, right? Because this is where Craig was like admitting to the guys that like he likes Charlie, but he's worried about dating in the group because what if like, they start to get serious and then he realizes that he's not into it and just basically sharing his overthinking, and he admitted that in the conversation, right? I'm like thinking about this too much or whatever, his anxieties about trying to date again. And the way that Salley got the information, she put her lens on it and she's trying to make it sound as diabolical as possible. Shep, didn't you learn shit from you told Craig about Austin, the rumor with Audrey, and now you telling Salley what Craig said? Shep, you didn't learn nothing, you big mouth.
Not too
That's what
much on my man. Not too
I
much.
know, but like um, so running and telling Salley in the first place is really where it all got started. But obviously she thinks that this is just the perfect example of how gossip turns really toxic because
Mhm.
her interpretation based on what she was told, she feels really, really confident to speak that way, right? She feels very confident. And she feels, like I said, the confirmation bias that she has from her experience. Craig, of course, said that egotistical jerk, like he didn't even appreciate that I was into him. So, um, but in reality, when you look at what Craig actually said, yeah, he was, maybe Charlie would have been like, get over yourself. But like, it wasn't uh, arrogant in the way that Sally's
Right.
portraying it. So here's the
Right. Like
tornado at work.
it's an opinion about what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean what Salley wants
No,
Charlie to think it means.
no, it
That
doesn't.
Charlie can
Yeah.
feel the same way about him that Salley does. That's the whole point.
Yes.
She wants all the women, well, the one that Craig is into, to feel the same way about him. Since he don't want Salley, she's just throwing salt. That's what we call throwing salt in the game, just trying to, muddy up the waters for them because she never had a shot, even though
Yeah.
she's half naked all the doggone time around him.
I mean, if she were really being smart about it, she would just let Charlie find out for herself, right? Because isn't that what she wanted to do with Craig herself with Vanita? I mean, the hypocrisy continues in a merry-go-round. But it just goes back to we want to find out for ourselves, and our friends sometimes really, really, really don't want us to get with people we don't like. So.
Girl, listen. I heard this loud noise. I thought it was some ruckus going on. Doggone
Oh.
cats outside. Girl, scare me half to death.
Well, it's game on now with the rumor mill.
Ain't it, girl? So, so then they're switching back, right? They're flipping back and forth. So now we're seeing Vanita and Rodrigo riding with Austin. So they just, shooting the shit and everything. They're having a good old ride. And his, Archie's brought up. And he lets them know, well, I broke up with her. They both looked at him like, what? And, they just a little shocked. And he was like, well, player got to do what a player got to do.
Well, yeah, I know. I almost expected him to go, well, you all have been telling me that I need to do it anyway.
Yeah, Rodrigo was like, good. I'm like that.
I mean, well,
but,
like I said, I mean, I don't think you probably, I don't know if you watched the clip I sent you from when Rodrigo was on Watch What Happens Live, but, he said on Watch What Happens Live that Austin is honestly, was saying a lot of stuff about it. So not one, was complaining about maybe the relationship a lot more than he was or what they showed on camera. So
Girl, I forgot to watch that clip. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna watch it when I get off.
it's all right. I'm just saying, yeah, no, it was just interesting because, like I said, I feel like it's a contradiction to what we've been shown on the season. I mean, yeah, he's
Mhm.
made a few comments, but he hasn't been straight up like, I don't want to be with her. I thought it was more like, I like things the way they are.
Yeah.
Although, Austin is a perpetual non commitment person. He just is. So this fits in with his storyline. Bye, girl.
The one thing I was hoping he would have touched on is, did he let her know that he don't want to be with her, or is that he broke it off because she wanted more than what he wanted? Because that's the one thing I was waiting to hear. Just to hear that he broke it off because of, he don't see it being long term. Well, there's a middle ground, but I don't want to assume, but I would have liked to hear or see that discussion with them, or him at least talk about it.
Well, I mean, he said that there was something about like push the button, like you need to move here and see how it goes. That he said in interviews and in his confessional, like, what if
Mm-hmm.
she moves and then I hate it and I don't want her to live here and then she moved all the way. I mean, I think that's answer enough that he was not enough into this relationship to even want to take the risk of having her move. That's so I think he was enjoying having the part-time girlfriend. She was cute and hot and things were easy, but I think he was also acknowledging the pressure that everyone else around him was kind of giving him, like, don't leave this girl on. If you don't want her to move here and you don't want to live together and look at a future with her, what are you doing? You're old. She's looking at you like, why am I investing in a boyfriend for this long if we're not going to take the next step? If I was with someone and they already knew they didn't want me to move in with them, then I'd be like, why are we together?
And that's what I mean, because I understood their relationship to be maybe 18 months, maybe 2 years old. So,
Mm-hmm.
And with them being so young, in my opinion, that's not long enough to start making lifelong decisions with somebody. So that's also my reasons for thinking maybe, they could have had a conversation, or maybe been on the same page about dating for a while to see where this go. But if it wasn't that, and it's all about trying to, be long term now, it was, to me, that was too soon to start talking anyway. I mean, 18 months, 2 years, wow.
Yeah, but I don't think it's unreasonable to live closer to one another. Like, to the move part. I would have been looking at him like, am I gonna move to Charles? Like, are we gonna make this? Like, I don't think, how long would you want to date somebody long distance?
I don't do long distance. That ain't my stilo.
See, so you wouldn't have been doing it to begin with. So
Right. Ain't my stilo. So,
yeah,
but
so I'm just
real quick, had she been flued out, all them travel time wouldn't even been an issue. Just saying. 6 hours, 7 hours on the road when you can fly out for an hour and 20.
Just so you know, Ray has a barn full of dead horses, a bunch of different ones in a stall.
Listen, I saw the tail wagging.
Yeah,
the tail was
so
wagging.
but no, I mean, it's just honestly like, I don't know, I just think that he's not young. He's 36, 38. Like, he's so I don't know. If I had a boyfriend that he knew he didn't want me to move after 2 years, I wouldn't want to be together either. Like, I would be looking at him like, if you aren't excited about the idea of us being together more or me living closer to you, even, then what are we doing? Let me go find somebody that wants to be, like, be in a traditional partnership that's leading somewhere. So, I mean, I think that they had enough time to enjoy each other's company for that whole, like, fun part. Not that they have to do forever and, like, engagement, but I definitely would be like, why aren't we, at least I'll move to Charleston and get my own place. I don't need to necessarily move in with you right away either, but we need to I need to, like, make some changes to where our lives are more aligned.
And she's younger. That's an issue too, you know.
Yeah.
And we don't know what she do for work, or is she just does her life need to be where he is, or does it need to be there? Like we knew about Paige, she had ish going on.
She did, yeah.
So she needed to be where she was at because of the line of work she's in. But as far as Audrey's concerned, all we know is she driving on the road total of 8 hours almost, both coming and going, and that's it. I mean, was there anything mentioned more about her and her personal life?
He said on an interview that, she was able to sometimes work from his home, like, on a Monday, like not go back right away on a weekend. He was talking about the frequency in which she came to visit, and how, sometimes through work she could, make it a longer weekend by working from home. But it sounded like she had some kind of corporate job, or some kind of job that didn't necessarily allow her to be at his beck and call or any of that kind of stuff, and that moving to Charleston would likely mean a job change.
Well, that's something they should have been discussed and considering. That's where she was when they met. I mean, or did she move there when, because I mean, if you're gonna get with somebody who lives that far from the get-go, then that's something y'all should have been trying to work out along the way anyway.
Well, I mean, I think that they were enjoying each other's company and they were enjoying being in a relationship. And I think that it was just hitting the part where it was like, okay, are we gonna take this next step and move it, make some changes because we don't live close, or not?
Where was that conversation? That's all I'm saying. I'm missing something. That's all I'm saying.
I think they had it off camera. I think they had it and he broke up with her.
There they go.
I think they had it and he said, I don't want this next step. I think
that's Robin Dixon effect.
Well, and that's what he's been saying, though. Remember, he was saying he felt like a meteor was hurtling toward Earth, which is not a good sign. That he knew that the expectation of where is this going, am I moving? He knew that was coming soon. So he broke up with her because he was like, I know the question is coming. Am I moving? And he said the answer was, I don't want her to. So you need to let that poor girl go.
So after we find out, all this, that, and the third, then they shoot back, production shoots back to the car ride with Charlie, Molly, and Salley. So while Sally's still throwing salt, she said, you know what, let's call Austin. Because pretty much she wanted him to tell her what Craig said so that Salley can hear from somebody else other than her. Girl, right. She's leaving a trail of salt as she drives. Just
yeah.
Just NACL. That's her name. NACL. Anyway, so she calls Austin and he's like, oh, speaking of the devil, hey, what's up, Salley? She's like, yeah, so what Craig has said about Charlie. He was like, what are you calling me with this for? And they just like, hey girl, how you doing? We in the car too, and everybody giving their pleasantries and everything. And it was just embarrassing. Like, girl, why are you trying to just throw all the salt in their game? But that's when Charlie should have said, it's okay, Salley. Even if he said it, it doesn't really bother me. Like she said in the confessional. Shoot that stuff down at the time. Don't worry about it, girl. We're going to have a good time. If he there or not, if he whatever. Let him think whatever he wants to think. Something to that effect. But she just letting the ish go, letting stuff ride. And just, to me, Sally's just embarrassing herself more and more.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Charlie's trying to do that. Charlie's obviously a people pleaser, and she's trying to do that balance between being friend. Charlie's not good at confrontation yet. She's new on the show. We don't know if she will be, But yeah, Sally's starting to spin this tornado, the chaos they're talking about. She's starting to get, she's starting to she said when she got there, I'm on one. Yeah, it's clear.
Tell me about it.
It's starting to get wound up, girl.
Child.
Very immature.
And then he kind of left the cat out the bag when they pretty much brought up Audrey. He was like, well, yeah, I'll tell you about that later. They're like, oh. And then they hung up. And she's like, did they break up?
She got a whiff.
Girl, whop. Just whopping. All up and down the seat. Whopping.
Yep. All of a sudden, instead of leaving a trail of salt, it was a trail of seawater.
Them poor chickens. Who watching the chickens? Did she give away at this point? Because she did mention.
She knows she just shit talked them, so she's setting it up to get rid of them.
Poor chickens. They never.
Yeah.
Chicken police, child. Anyway. So yeah, y'all. So the whop started whopping because she got, buggy-eyed and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And it's like, oh, now you want Austin now? Dang, girl. Cool that thing down. Molly was like, no, she ain't.
She's like, God damn, like the smoke hasn't even cleared the room. The body's not even been chalk outlined.
I was about to say, the body's still warm.
Yeah. God damn.
It's at 90 degrees now. 90 degrees.
Right? They haven't even secured the crime scene. God.
So here we go. Everybody's arriving. Madison's the last one to show up because, no one's going to yell at the pregnant woman. And, she's, not really noticing everybody. She's just coming in. And Salley, so, what's up with us? That's the
yep.
She did. Because, it was hot as fish grease. So people got in their, bathing suits by now. Everybody said they pleasantries and everything. Oh, it's one thing I wanted to say. When I keep calling this the plantation farmhouse, it literally was back then. What's his name? Whitner mentioned in the confessional, and I love how he said this. I'm going to hopefully say it like he said it, but just get the gist of it. You know what I'm talking about? When he said, even though my family has a long history in this country, we're not as traditional as you may think. To me, it ain't just because it's Black History Month, but to me, that's telling me, even though this was a plantation, we're not racist like that, or racist at all. Did you kind of get that gist when he said that? Or did you?
I don't even know what No, I do. I just don't I'll let you make the interpretations you want. I don't know. I didn't necessarily, I wasn't thinking that hard about it. It's the South. It's very likely, right?
Yeah.
Certainly. But
this is not what you took from it. And yeah.
To be honest with you, I wasn't really even thinking much about it. I get respect to you bringing up what he was trying to infer there, though, because I do think he was intentionally. I do think there was some intentional, messaging there. Exactly what? I'll let you be the judge over me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. So, y'all, that's what I think. But go back and watch it. It just sounded a little profound in how he said it, because he's such a gentleman, right?
He is.
And he's, of course, he's, in his profession, and so far of us seeing him, he's non-problematic in every way possible so far. He speaks pleasantly about the ex that dumped him pretty much 2 seconds before the altar. He's pretty much an upgrade, literally and figuratively, from JT.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, they said, oh, we got to get the opposite. Although I saw in the preview for next episode, he gets in the mix. And it looked like defending Salley, which I was kind of like, what? But anyway, I think, regardless of, they seem like nice folks. They seem like a cool family, right? The property seems beautiful. They're very lucky to have Itchy Grass Farm. The home seemed lovely, idyllic.
And everyone's cabin, and they have these little homes.
Very nice.
Cabins along the property. It just looks so much like if this was 400 years ago, what we would see because of how it's positioned. And it is what it is. You know, we ain't going to dwell on it. But I was just, you know, I was like, okay, he said that real diplomatic, but I could be wrong. But I could be wrong. It's all good. It's all to G-double-O-D.
Yeah, no, this is not one of those situations where, like, when you go, I could be, and in my mind, I'm going, I think you are. Nope, this is one where I'm like, defer to, you know, totally. I defer to your interpretation.
Yes. So if Whitner, anybody over there, if you listen, watching, listen, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you are, if I'm right, say, yeah, I hit the nail on the head or head or whatever that saying is called. And just let me know, because I'm curious. But I think I know what I'm talking about. But I could be wrong. I'm not above reproach. So, like I said, everybody's there getting along. They, what's his name? Craig was the designated hamburger flipper. That hamburger looked good with the cheese on it dripping. Didn't it look good?
Listen, I don't love hamburgers, but I do enjoy a nice cheeseburger every now and then. Like if I go to a restaurant, like a burger is not usually my first go-to. Like I'd get a club sandwich before I'd get a burger, but
yes,
in the right situation, totally enjoy one.
I'll plan to get a fat burger sometime in April. Just
See,
saying.
exactly, right. Yeah, no, I actually had Easy Street, which is a smash burger up in LA, and that I would get on purpose.
Ooh.
That was so delicious.
Is it better than Fat Burger?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Easy Street, girl. Easy Street. Next time you're in LA.
Clutching my pearls. What?
No, I stand by it. Delicious.
What?
Oh,
girl, Fat Burger's a staple. Oh my goodness.
I know. No, I think this is my favorite burger in LA.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try that too. I might try them in
Yeah.
June. I gotta space it out.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I love a good barbecue, you know.
Me too, girl.
I do. Yeah. Then this looked like such a fun, quintessential, like we got, you know, like I got wealthier friends hang out. You know, like
yes,
come to my parents' compound or whatever you want to call it, right?
That's right.
Have a little evening. There's room enough for all. I mean, that's a lot of people to house, and only 2 people have to be in a tent.
Girl, I'm bunking with some.
You're putting me alone in a room with its own bathroom in the big house. That's fine. Like you,
girl, I sleep on the couch.
Where those girls were getting the rooms, I was like, oh, I'll take, yeah, okay.
Girl, girl, I ain't going to sleep on it. Put the boys outside. Thank you.
Yeah. Who's going to be in the tent? Not me.
What was I about to say? Speaking of barbecue, y'all know the tenderism, you know, with the bone, the meat off the bone. Me and my family were celebrating my sister's birthday, and we took some pictures. So go on my Instagram page, which is there, RAERAES all day _ on _ YouTube, and you'll see the pics. Okay, took pics with Aunt, and we had a great time. Food was it was you know, we didn't have everything, but you know, it was What was I about to say? Oh yeah, Craig was the designated burger flipper. They had the dogs. I didn't see the ribs, but I guess they did. Burgers and the sides and everything. But you know, the girls were really there just to be cute. You know, they just, you know, Vanita wasn't getting in the water because she had her mic pack on. So she was just there looking real cute. Like I said, girls there to being cute. The guys got in the water because nobody really care about them being cute. Just please. But yeah, girl, soon as Madison got there, she got her feet in the water, said all of the hellos and everything. And Salley came over to greet her, the baby, and within 5 seconds, so what's going on with Austin? And Madison outright tells her, oh yeah, he's single now. He broke up with her. Girl, all of a sudden, he sure didn't look good in that water.
She lost her mind. Her head exploded.
Her WAP exploded. That's what happened. You see that gush of water?
Gross. No.
I saw a little tidal wave when she in that corner. Girl, bye. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So anyway, so Charlie goes over to tell Craig, listen, no matter what my friends say about you, we cool. Don't worry. He was like, what you mean? And so he was just, trying to let her know that, listen, I respect you. I like you. I'm trying to get to know you. And that's pretty much all this is. I don't really appreciate all this back and forth or, talking about me to you. That's just something that, is bothersome. And it just snowballs from there, child. Oh, go ahead.
This is what Craig does sometimes that annoys me. Remember how he said he swears JT said what he said, and JT didn't ever call Miss Patricia the B word, right?
Right.
And now he's swearing to Charlie, I didn't say anything about you. Yes, you did. You did talk about her, but now you're turning it into, I would never say anything. People are straight up lying on me. No, they're not. They're just misinterpreting what you said. I mean, it's the same lane of bullshit, but you're in different lanes. You didn't say nothing. You were just talking about, being insecure. So I hate where he's like, I'm not saying anything. They're trying to get me. No, they're just gossiping and they're not doing you any favors. What really needed to be said was, I like you, you like me. People are putting their spin on any kind of conversation. Of course, we're talking about each other because we've gone out and I've expressed that I liked you, whatever. Please just trust that those intentions are there and anything you're getting from other people has a spin on it. That would have been the great thing to do instead of deny it altogether.
Yeah, it'll be great for him to speak more on the truth.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to say they're lying. But to his defense, considering Salley, he's probably just saying she lying because of and what he said later about how, he unfortunately had to turn her down. So now she's just upset and just saying things. He really don't know what she said. So
no,
I think she lied. I would probably say she lying too, considering, how she's going about this. So I don't blame her for that, but I agree with what you said. Explain better.
Well, and honestly, I will admit too that, they are drinking a lot and like maybe Craig doesn't even remember completely, or like maybe as far as Craig's concerned, like what he said is so far from how it got related to Charlie that he does feel like he's being lied on, like you said. I think what I just still was looking for is, this is a situation to get out of semantics where you just look at the person and say, I like you. I'm not talking crap about you. We have a bunch of gossip houndy friends that have ulterior motives. Let's just trust one another right now and keep it moving.
And then later on, Craig, or almost immediately rather, Craig confronted Salley, kind of off to the side in front of everybody. And I appreciated the way he came at her. He wasn't disrespectful. He wasn't, yelling, or he was just in a real soft tone, in a meek manner, in my opinion. Pretty much just stop talking shit about me. I understand things may not have worked out the way you planned, but how about you come to me instead of going to other people if you have a problem with what I'm saying? I appreciated him saying it like that. He didn't make it drawn out because immediately she made a scene and he was trying to be, covert, like, hey girl, I'm trying, thought we had a friendship. But I, if pretty much, I think he said, if I meant anything to you as friends, I would appreciate that you would come to me instead of just going off and saying stuff about me. And she did the Salley thing, made a scene as if he's problematic. Girl, you looking like you looking.
Well, she wanted, here's the part that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
She wanted to bring in the source right away, Shep, right?
Right.
Okay.
She did say that. Yeah.
I respect what you're saying and this was Craig's reaction. No, I don't want this to snowball. I don't want this to become a big storyline. I don't want to, he said, she said. Like, I just want you to stop, like, throwing me under the bus or come talk to me about it before you talk to Charlie. Like, but I also thought it was interesting because if he felt lied on and he felt like Shep was perpetuating it, I kind of was like, well, why don't you want Shep to like justify? Because Shep could have shut it down and been like, Salley, I didn't say it like that. I said it like, like you're making this out of a lot bigger than it was, or like, so I just thought it was interesting. I didn't know quite how to interpret the fact that Craig didn't want Shep to diffuse the situation, even though he felt like he was being lied on. It was interesting.
You know what needs to happen? Salley, Austin, Shep, and Craig need to just be in a room and discuss things and have Salley listen in if he wants. But I think them four need to have a conversation, just them four.
Well, you know what's crazy is when you say that, it makes me realize how much, like, that's why Craig didn't want to keep doing this. Because why is one girl with 3 guy friends all getting this information? Like, why is it like this? There's one person that's kind of in the dynamic there that's making it extra crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
So, and, Salley, and here's the part that was so crazy, right? Sally's rationale is, oh, I'm even more convinced you said it now because of the way you're acting about it. Oh, wow.
Girl, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah. It's like, even if he did, like, what does that prove? Like, where's the smoking gun?
Creating drama just so she can, well, I know one thing, she thought she could get him to blow up to make her look even more of, I don't want to say victim, but just to make him look more like a heel, the way she's trying to make him seem when that's not even the case. So good for him for not, falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And Salley, girl, you got too much going on for yourself to be looking like this. But I do understand emotions, and you seem to have a lack of emotional intelligence when it comes to these circumstances. So this is Auntie talking. If you're listening, watching, listening, I want you to stop while you're ahead and think about how progressive you are in life and how much you have to offer, and just chalk this up as a loss.
Well,
and move on, girl.
Because she's already running after Austin. She's already surfing a tidal wave over to Austin. So, like, I'll be real honest with you. If I were this emotionally immature, which I have been, I would say, not maybe to this level, but whatever. I think, I think my personal reaction would probably be like, I don't care what you're doing anymore. I'm crushing on Austin now. I moved on to the new fantasy. Like, you know what I mean?
Hello.
Like, do what you want. I'm like, then I'd have like these crazy eyes for Austin. Although I'm not one like to be uber aggressive like that. Like, I'm not like whispering I want somebody's, DICK or any of that crap. I think I would just start immediately like flirting gently and being like maybe fixated on Austin if I were this lame about dudes, right? But it's like, if you are excited about Austin being single and you've decided to really switch gears, then why don't you let Charlie find out for herself? Again, like I said before, just like you told Venita you needed to find out for yourself. And stop trying to prove that he's not a good person because you have a wounded ego.
Yes.
Because guess what? The only way Charlie's going to find that out is for herself, because Venita was right. And I still do. But goddamn, give Austin a minute. Like, there's no breathing room. Her energy is like crazy.
And I'm surprised what I'm about to say, grown folks conversation. You ain't cut a nut yet with some man that you need to just be this hot in the draws. I mean, girl, you look great. You are the preference. You got it going on. I'm sure somebody has caught your eye other than this group of fools. You work in a hospital, girl. What's going on?
I know, right? Yeah. So
you are in a. I'm just saying she's in a group of professionals that are, pretty much wealthy people. Girl.
Yeah.
Stop the foolishness. But, it is, she's not ready to stop the foolishness. And I get it. People people are, you have to meet them where they are. And she's where she's at with this group of people.
Salley has a pick-me wound.
Poor thing. What's more poor is that Craig catches her bad mouthing him more so to Charlie and Molly, and he walks by and says, "Oh yeah, just keep talking about me." Then she lies and said, "Ain't nobody talking about you. Girl, you was just talking about the man 2 seconds ago." So now they caught her in a lie. If you that big and bold, you should have said, "And I'm gonna continue to talk." Don't lie and say you weren't talking about the man. That wasn't a good comeback, Salley. Just saying.
No, it wasn't. She's not too good with that.
So in my opinion, that made me think that she's, good at making up things on the spot. She's good at telling a tale. Because otherwise she would have just, not lied at least, or said, well, something. I don't know, just not that.
I don't think this shows she's good at lying, because nobody believed her. Like, when she tried to deny it, it was a very nobody believed that. I was like, sure. But anyway, it just, whatever. She's trying to, she's wound up and she's going on. I also, listen, this is just a little bit of an observation too. I think alcohol is fueling some of this behavior as well.
Well, I think she was lying before the drink, but okay.
Well, yes. I mean, yes, but I mean, I think Shep told her what Craig said, and I think she spun it in her own mind because she doesn't like Craig and is now trying to, like you said, throw salt in his game. I think that's undeniable. And then when Craig was like, keep talking about me, she's like, we weren't. It was like a really pathetic attempt to lie, but nobody believed it. So that's why when you said, I think she's good at it, I'm like, I don't necessarily think she's good at it because nobody believed her when she tried to, but I do think I think part of this kind of hyper stuff that's happening is they, once they got there, they started drinking. And I think, even Molly brought it up that, once she gets going, she kind of gets going. So,
not a bottle of water in sight.
Yeah, and maybe there needs to be, but yeah.
Golly, where the water at, y'all? Drink some water first.
Yeah, even Madison, you could tell Madison was like, calm down, shit. Madison doesn't ever chase like that.
Ooh, child. What else happened? Oh, so now they're getting all ready for dinner and everything, and we're closing out the episode to where Austin, and Rodrigo find their way. What Austin called it, Brokeback Lake.
Yeah.
So here that Rodrigo was talking down by the lake, where the canoes are. It's a very beautiful property, just it has everything. And there he was just talking about his feelings about Audrey. He misses her, but he feels as though he made the right decision. But he's kind of questioning himself at the same time. He knows he made the right decision. Boy, which one is it?
I know.
Oh boy. Did you have something to say about that conversation?
No, not really. I mean, I think he's just trying to do Audrey a little bit of like justice with,
Yeah.
showing us that it was not for lack of caring about her. He's just not, he doesn't want, he does not want to be, he doesn't want to take the next step. And, they're just at a place where if that's the case, then the relationship has nowhere to go.
He just needs an FB
Yeah.
that he can hang out with, no strings attached, maybe somebody who don't mind hanging out with him more often than not, but knows that, ain't nothing going no further.
He said on the after show he felt like she was kind of getting lost in the show, like, kind of lost, getting absorbed into his life. So, I mean, I think that something we've seen in him is that regardless, he needs a strong woman that doesn't, that he has to chase a little bit, because the only woman that ever really lit his fire was Madison.
And he keep calling her. See what I'm saying? See? Whew. So next we see Craig. He wants to confide in Shep about Salley throwing salt, all in his game with Charlie, and that's when they both agree that Salley is like the agent of chaos. She's just unstable when it comes to all of this, and Craig looks shocked that now their relationship has come to this, meaning he's losing a friend, that he thought he had in Salley, and she's just throwing him under the bus left and right, all because he didn't want to be with her. And that's what it seems like. I can't see anything else because she had nothing bad to say about this man until he said he didn't feel the same way about her that she felt about him.
Yeah, she's acting immature. She is. She's not handling it well. She's not. It's embarrassing. She's proven what they say right now,
And I hate that. I hate that for her. I'm a girl's girl, and I really want her to win. Like I said, she has so much going on for herself.
She does. She really does.
She's throwing it all away over these fuck boys. Hello.
I know. She's really getting lost in the sauce. Well, because she's proving them right when they're calling her an agent of chaos, or when they're calling her tornado. Like, yeah, like you were literally, you're proving Molly right. You're calling dibs on all the guys. You literally were telling Charlie when you were throwing your beach house party. Were you talking to him a lot? Because I was watching you talking to him a lot. Because if you're talking to him more, like if you want to date more, then you just need to let me know. Because you were like talking to him a lot. You know what I mean? And then it was, well, the second that Austin is single, I'm gonna slob that knob. And like, and now
she did say that, y'all. She said it.
She did. Sorry. So now she caught a whiff that he's free, and she's burning the house down while she's trying to go jump into another one. So it's just, it's a little bit like, Salley, like, you don't get to have like ownership over everybody.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The only one you're like not trying, and you already had Shep, so he must not be that impressive, because both you and Molly have had him, and nobody's chasing after him.
Girl.
Although, what's funny? This is a little tiny side note. I noticed there was this little moment between Shep and Molly where she walked up and he's like, "How's it going? Good." And it's like they have that like cute little chemistry of like, we slept together, and like maybe it could happen some other time if we're bored or whatever, but like we're cool,
I'm afraid that that ain't gonna ever happen again.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I could see them both getting drunk and being like, I could see it. But not dating or anything.
Never. I agree. Well, that was the end of the episode, y'all. But they showed us some previews that, folks' lips is touching. And I do mean folks, as we've been alluding to. Salley don't mind putting her lips on somebody's, not no longer. As soon as she found out, she's kissing on Austin on the next episode, y'all. and Whitney's going off on somebody in the house. So, well, not going
Yeah.
off like screaming, but he's having something with somebody in that house.
He's getting involved.
Maybe they went off in front of his parents and he had to get who knows, child? Who knows?
I don't know.
Child. And then we find out through the webcam that the 34-week pregnant girl, apparently we're gonna find out exactly what transpired, but we know for a fact that she had that baby at 34 weeks. They filmed her getting ready to go to the itchy grass at 34 weeks. And the next episode, she in a hospital.
Yep.
Where she is, we don't know. Because Brett said, don't be having my baby out there in that itchy grass.
They did joke about that.
Okay, so child, we gonna find out. So I think she did have a little complication. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember exactly. I think it was something like she might have had preeclampsia or something like that. I think she had something where she needed to deliver early. I think it was starting to be too stressful on her. She had a broken pelvis with her first son because of how big he was and how small she is. So I think there were maybe a couple of different reasons why. And the baby must have been in distress because if you remember, she was in the NICU, I think for like 10 days or something after. So, I mean, she was early, but so I just think that unfortunately the pregnancy just had some complications that just made them have to go forth.
Probably all that damn itchy grass. Shoot. Girl, I'm just thinking about it itching. I was itching watching it. Like, oh, it did look itchy, didn't it?
I just was marveling at the property. I was just like, dang, how nice.
It's lovely.
Going up the long driveway and all that, and there's a pond and crap. I was just like, God,
that water looked like you had
No, I'm not going in it. I'm not going in a pond. I grew up by the ocean. No. I don't. Stagnant bodies of water are no thank you. Maybe a lake if it's nice and big, but not a pond. No. And a pool with chlorine, okay.
Well, yeah, that's the end of the episode. We're going to let you know about our up and coming shows we got for you tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night we got the Rich Heifers of Beverly Hills, same time, 8 p.m., Friday Night Live. Yes. And then Saturday we got episode 6, part 2 of Ray the Queen. We're going to find out what the queens think of each other, the flip-flopping, flop-flipping, whatever you want to say it. And it's gonna be a good time had by all, y'all. Now, don't forget to understand and know about the notifications. Make sure you are subscribed and that the bell is black or there's some parentheses around it. That means you get all notifications. And don't forget to hype up the video somewhere around the comment section, either the live comments if you're watching now or the replay game around there. But anywho, we're gonna find out where Erin is when she's not talking ish with me.
You can catch me on Facebook, Psychic Erin Boyd, or on Instagram and Threads, Psychic_ELB. Hit me up in the DMs if you'd like to get a psychic reading or just friend me on social media.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow night. Bye. Ray, Ray.